What's up everyone, I'm Dave Winchester and it's been almost a year since the Xbox One sucks a lot video. So I figured I'd go back and do the same thing for PlayStation 4 since I got a lot of positive feedback on the last one. Just so you guys know, these are some of the comments I got for the Xbox One sucks a lot video. The boy with the big heart gaming says, Xbox One does not suck. Well, okay, your opinion. Josh LaPointe. Just got my Xbox about a month ago. Xbox is shit, not worth the buy. I'm so pissed, but I'm not returning it. I already paid for it, so I just have to suck it up, piece of box. Grammar and spell check, possibly some punctuation, might have helped with that. Girl of War. Xbox is annoying as F. I'm changing to PS4. Fuck Xbox and Microsoft. Girl of War again. I sold my Xbox One for $10 for being a piece of shit. You got ripped off. You probably could have gotten more from GameStop, for God's sakes. XY Croy. Meanwhile, I'm here with PC and 60 FPS. First of all, if you're only playing in 60 FPS, you probably have a shit PC. Secondly, there's always that one PC master race asshole that has to comment on every console topic. Gavin Legg. Xbox One is the most shittiest things in the world. JJ Lynch. Oh, this one's a good one. Shut up with your ugly gay station, you have no family, cunt, get a life. Proud White Man 88. You know where this is going. Xbox One is a piece of 8-pound shit. The only thing it does for me is Keo dust off my TV stand. My PS4 is worth what I paid for it. Xbox fanboys can suck a dick. Methinks Androids Videos Games Channels says, the Xbox Live Gold shot is ducking stupid. It just expired today. WTF. Okay. Ben Giancola. Fuck the Xbox One, it sucks dick. Okay? God Eric. Xbox dos suck and it sucks dick. I'm assuming that was supposed to be Xbox does suck and it sucks dick. Sean Flay. Xbox One fucking suck, excuse my language, in every way. Your language is excused. Athletic Penguin Gaming. Stupid idiot, Xbox One is cooler than your hairline. Bagels for purchase. You have a gross nose. TIL Oblivion. I'm sorry your face pisses me off for some reason, but I understand your points. Well, as long as you understand my points. Rambling Guy. Did you take a break from your catfish show there, Niev? You know, I had no idea who this was, and then I Google searched him. Fair enough. Patrick I'm assuming, I can't pronounce that name, I'm assuming it's Russian. And fuck Gay Station. Alright, so we're on to the PlayStation 4 and everything wrong with that console. Let's begin.
PlayStation.
The PS4's design at first glance seems pretty damn cool. Sleek, angular, and you can tell Sony was trying to make it look as futuristic as they possibly could, from the sloped front and back of the console to the Cylon light bar that appears on top. It seems like a pretty badass looking piece of kit. I would say mission accomplished when it comes to having a sleek aesthetic. My problem is with the function, not the form. Let's start with the disk drive. Hidden in a weird slotted bevel in the front of the console, for anyone having it sit low on an entertainment center, it's like a fun game of trying to find out exactly where you're inserting the disk. You know it's somewhere to the left of the USB ports, maybe under the shiny side, but you won't know it's actually there until you try to insert a disk and pray the PlayStation 4 sucks it down like the Blu-ray whore that it is. If they were going to make any part of the console light up, it probably should have been the disk drive just for convenience sake. It's a minor gripe, but now let's take a look at the bullshit on the back of this console. What the shit is this? This sloped crap in the back combined with the crazy notch-filled ventilation system makes it impossible to plug anything in without pulling out the entire console or having a shop light dangling from the back of your entertainment center. I normally can feel around for the port I'm looking for with other consoles, but since every part of the back of the PS4 is sectioned off and graded in some weird ass way, I don't even try. I just slide out my whole damn unit, bust out the flashlight, plug the shit in, and slide it all back. It's genius for keeping the console cool and well ventilated, but it sucks for the average user to have to plug anything in. Oh, and for those of you who thought there wasn't a better way, bam! Look at this, the PS4 Pro. The back of the thing is perfect, super simplified, and the system still runs cool as hell. Obviously the superior version as far as design goes, even if it does look like the double whopper of the console market. Before you jump down my throat, I really like using the DualShock 4 controller. As someone who has had a few DualShock 3s decide to go crazy over the several years where I played on PlayStation 3, it's great to see that Sony made a more durable product this time around. Although maybe not with the ones that shipped at launch. If you were one of those poor souls who got a controller which had the analog nubs just fall apart within a month of use, sorry, but those are the risks when buying a product at launch. Luckily, the newer controllers have no real structural issues, but that doesn't mean they're perfect either. For one thing, the battery life is pretty garbage, and the charging cable shipped with the console is only long enough for people playing on a 32-inch television. As a matter of fact, one of the first things I did was invest in a 10-foot long cable so I could charge the controller while playing. Honestly, none of this would have been an issue if the built-in battery of the controller was even semi-decent. If I end up playing any game with the rumble feature turned on, I'm lucky to get 8 hours of playtime before I have to plug it in and charge it. I'm sure having the light bar at the top of the controller that's always on doesn't help with the battery life either, or the built-in speaker for that matter. For as long as I've had the console, I have never actually used or seen any benefit in using these features. I get that the light bar is used for PlayStation VR, but for the 30+ million of us that don't have a headset, please just let us turn it off. Oh, and before you guys start showing up in the comments with torches and pitchforks trying to put my head on a pike, I know you can dim the light bar. I've had it on the lowest setting since the update let me change it, and I've had that speaker muted since day one. But it still bugs the crap out of me that they're even there. It has always bothered me that controllers are more expensive than ever before, especially since I am paying for features that I don't want and that I am surely never going to use. I'm grouping both of these into one category, mostly because there are things people forget even exist, including developers. I would be lying if I said the PlayStation VR didn't appeal to me. The idea of an actual working VR headset on consoles is a dream, but PlayStation VR is obviously not setting the world on fire. The biggest turnoff to me is the amount of extra hardware required for this. For the past decade and a half, developers have been trying to cut the cords to everything. Phones, computers, laptops, the internet, and even down to game controllers. So why the hell would I want to tether a VR headset to my console? HTC has already developed a working wireless VR headset kit, which is far more appealing and powerful than the PlayStation VR. Sony should have held back for another year or two and released a wireless PSVR headset and launched it with the next generation PlayStation. Especially considering that since the launch of the PlayStation VR at the end of 2016, only a handful of post-launch titles have been released. Let's face it, as of right now, the PlayStation VR owners are just beta testers. As for the PlayStation 4 Pro, what the fuck was Sony thinking? The system has no place in the console market. The only reason anyone should spend their money on this is if they have a 4K television and are just now picking up a PlayStation 4. Otherwise, the PlayStation 4 Slim is always the better option. The upgrade in graphical fidelity is so small that half the people playing it can't even see the difference on a 4K TV. Not to mention the hiccups most games have when they're being played in 4K on the system. The Xbox Scorpio shit in Sony's Cheerios right before the Pro's launch, and it never fully recovered. That was one of the only good strategic moves Microsoft has made this entire console generation. This is not going to be about the PlayStation Store UI or anything like that. It's specifically about the quality of games being released on it. I'm going to list a few games recently released digitally on the PlayStation 4 store, and I'm going to ask you a question, and I need you to be honest. Would you buy any of these titles? My Name is Mayo, Life of Black Tiger, MX Nitro, Malicious Fallen, and Vaccine. And those were all released in the past few weeks at the time of filming this. The PlayStation Store, as great as it is, has a lot of just shit all over it. Tons of crappy games, themes, avatars, all just mixing into this giant shit cheesecake. At the top, you have your awesome content, The Witness, Transistor, Saturday Morning RPG. Then if you go down one layer, you have shit like My Name is Mayo in Life of Black Tiger. Go down below that, you have some decent themes. You have your Resident Evil theme, Final Fantasy theme, few others. And then below that, you have your shitty avatars and half-naked anime girl background things. That's all shit that you can probably find on your laptop for free, but these assholes are charging you $2 and $3 for it. It's absolutely ridiculous, and there's no reason for it whatsoever. And it's all because Sony has no curation when it comes to the PlayStation Store. Nobody's filtering this content, so all of this shit gets dumped on you, and it just makes it harder for you to find the good content that you're looking for. There needs to be some quality assurance on the platform. Even Xbox 360 had the indie game section, but it was separated from the actual Xbox Live Arcade titles. That was the right way to do it, and the games that were great would rise to the top of the indie list, or the developers could go on to release a fully published game, instead of this shit stew of content on the PlayStation Store. Fix your shit, Sony. I shouldn't have to wade through a sea of garbage to find a handful of actual good indie games on the platform. A store curation team could fix this in no time, but I doubt I'll ever see that happen. The last and biggest complaint I have about the PlayStation 4 is the lack of backwards compatibility. Now I know that the PlayStation 3 had that weird ass cell architecture and that emulating it would be near impossible. I accept that, but to not allow me to play the PlayStation 1 classics on the PlayStation 4 is just straight up bullshit. Almost anything can emulate the PlayStation 1 nowadays, and I have a huge classics library which I downloaded on the PlayStation 3 and a physical PlayStation 1 library. Why the hell can't I re-download them or play them on the PlayStation 4, which as of right now is the most powerful console on the market? This is by far the biggest issue with the console, and I know PlayStation Now was meant to remedy this, but the service just doesn't work like it should. The network is unreliable, and no matter how fast your internet connection is, there's always a tiny bit of latency, which can make certain genres like fighting games completely unplayable. I hate to say this, but the Xbox One has the upper hand here, and while not all Xbox 360 games are backwards compatible as of now, at least Microsoft is striving to get as many games added to that list as they possibly can. On top of that, Microsoft announced that the Scorpio will be backwards compatible with the 360 titles as well, which encourages collectors like myself to go out and buy even more Xbox One and more Xbox 360 games, since at least for the foreseeable future I'll have a machine that can play them. Not only that, but Microsoft also lets you download the digital copies purchased on the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, something that doesn't happen on the PlayStation systems. So if you bought Grand Theft Auto 3 on the PlayStation Store on PlayStation 3, you have to buy the same game again on the PlayStation 4. It's a bullshit move on Sony's part, and there is no excuse for it. So those are all the reasons I could think of about why the PlayStation 4 sucks. But are there any huge issues that I missed? If you can think of any, post them in the comments section down below. And while you're at it, let me know what you thought of the video. You can also use the like and dislike buttons if you're feeling pretty lazy. I'll be back soon with another video talking about a more recently released console, and if you want to check it out, make sure you subscribe and click the little notification bell so that way you know every time I post. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.